a donut.
You scared me and I misclicked and I ended up going on the maps tab.
Oh no.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eli. I am a Dungeon Master / Archivist for this campaign, which is Chronicles of Umaria Chapter 1 Shadow Falls. I am joined, as always, by Jared playing Stefan Winterfall,
Howdy.
Brian playing Chisel Havard,
Hello.
and Casey playing Redwood of Velico Jervo.
I have a donut.
Thank you, Casey.
Someone's drunk. For once, it's not me.
Yet.
I play with like keyboard goo.
Again.
He hasn't stopped playing with it.
Alright. Welcome for episode 20 of this campaign of What's Gonna Go Wrong Today? Last where we had left off, our companions, our group, our trio here
We killed a thing.
had a very unfortunate encounter with a monster.
You never told us what it is.
Yes, with a beast who that was rather daunting in both its strength and size, lured in by Seven's curiosity, as he could not help himself. And as a result, they ended up encountering fighting it on this old bridge that was a older portion of the homestead of Chisel's family. Redwood unfortunately lost an arm in the process, regaining it though through the combined ingenuity of Shrub, Chisel's incredibly accurate ability at hitting things with his hammer with a lot of blunt force, and the divine magic of his patron goddess Ithis. The beast fell, and quite literally, for thousands of feet. You didn't hear it make an impact on the ground. Chisel destroyed the bridge, gave Redwood's arm feeling back later on. Unfortunately, as he was inscribing the runes for his spell craft into the stone, so it hurt a lot as he was doing
Honestly,
it.
I wasn't sure it was going to work.
Each of you had encountered a being of significant power in your dreams that same night. Frostbringer speaking to Chisel, Ithis speaking to Redwood. Actually, no, Ithis didn't speak to you, Redwood, did she?
I don't think we had that conversation, no.
No. And then Baroon speaking to Seven, warning him, and of course, like everything else Baroon ever says to him, he took with a grain of salt, so...
And some sass and
Thank you.
some
Ignored.
backlash.
Left on red.
Like one of those family members nobody talks to, so they just leave on red.
Bro. But we pick up the next morning. It's a rather quiet morning.
I'm pretty sure Chisel is still asleep, snuggled up next to Shrub. Because that's where I ended, at least.
Yeah, bye.
Redwood ended up instantly passing out after the pain that he had endured in carving the new runes into his arm. So we'll actually pick up with Seven. We're gonna start with you.
Okay. All right.
You are back in the room that you had originally taken that 8-hour-long nap in before. And you're feeling pretty good.
E-
You unfortunately didn't get the trophy horn that you wanted, because of Redwood not letting you. Um,
Mhm.
but you have
Well,
plenty of.
all right, then fine. I'll make something else. I'll make something else. Oh yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna make. As he just grabs what could be whatever equivalent of this world is to a beaker and some bowls. He kind of raised the kitchen a bit for some supplies and a few foodstuffs here and there. It's like as he gets back to the room, shuts the curtain, and be like, "Right then, let's see what happens."
You hear Baroon speak into your head and go, "What are you doing?"
I don't question my methods. Let the process happen.
Do you even know if those ingredients are going to work well together?
I think so. I've ingested a few of them before in separate occasions. I mixed a few of them before, and I got tinglies in some spaces. So I think if I mix this with this and some of these cave shrooms, I think this will work.
He got tingly in some places.
No. We're not doing that this episode. Mm-mm. That is
This episode.
not in any episode.
So basically, what Thevin does is he's going to make a mutagen, specifically that sagacity, I guess it's pronounced.
Ooh, the increase. Okay. Uh, is this a permanent effect or is this a temporary?
So it so it lasts until a short or long rest, unless otherwise specified.
So you
You
start
make it, it breaks.
making this thing, and as you start things, I will say, because this is your first attempt at making it, the first attempt is a flop. It just doesn't work. It becomes like this really weird texture, and it's like, and you're just like, that's not right. That is not what that is supposed to do.
Right then, second time ago, I got plenty of supplies.
I think at this moment you actually see Barun is still very much bound to you, physically using you as like a vessel for the time being, but he does create like a sort of apparition that only you can see in the room, and he's just kind of leaning on the ground with like a like a like his fist like got his like resting his head like this, and he's like, "So that went well."
Aye, yes, yes. It's my first time doing this, so shut up. It's a process. Like I said, you gotta trust the process.
What
Now,
ex-
what if... Oh,
what
salt. That's what I need, some salt in there.
what exactly are you trying to accomplish with this concoction that looks like it's seconds away from exploding?
Right, so there's a few things. I had a few plans. This one in particularly is gonna make my brain bigger.
You're going to become smarter by drinking this.
Aye, yes. Soon the Redwood won't be the only one out spouting fancy nonsense about magic and the arcane.
I'll have a companion.
You know, because I don't want to watch you ingest something that could potentially kill you, I'm going to help you.
Just-
Yeah, you can
I don't want
try.
to watch my only vessel die because he becomes brain dead.
I do not wish to see you becoming a vegetable instead of becoming smarter like you intend. And I think
Because the term vegetable isn't really a common thing, Devin kind of looks at him like, why would I turn into a
Into a
veggie?
cabbage.
it's
I mean, it's
it's
supposed to make my brain bigger, not turn me into a tomato.
it's more of a figure of you know what?
Tomatoes are fruit.
I will explain
Ah,
at another time. And he just basically starts, because he can't physically touch anything, like he can't move anything, he just basically kind of gives you some minor instructions like, okay, you were on the right track with this portion, but maybe
I
change.
knew. The cotton bad for the sass. It's like,
Yeah.
I know that. I already tried that, you badass.
And then he's like, okay, but maybe change, like increase the amount that you
prepare
have.
to be ratatouille, bitch.
He's basically just
Ah.
like, it's just basically like, anyone passing by just hears what sounds like you talking to yourself. Meanwhile, like in your eye and your mind, you can hear him and stuff, and you can see him. So he's like, if I could slap you, I would." And it's just like this constant back and forth, like bickering. But you do make the mutagen, that you intend, and he goes, "All right, I guess I'll."
So,
Okay, not a second's hesitation.
You did it wrong. It's a suppository.
nah.
Oh no.
Make a con save.
You drink this mutagen, and obviously, like, you still have, like, the first attempt batch off to the side, I would assume, to clean up later, but... So, the first attempt basically looks like... not great. Is the best way I can describe it. But this one actually looks like a liquid, if a little oddly colored. Like a mixtures of green and blue and things like that. As you drink it, and it flows smoothly down. It actually has a bit of a sweet taste to it, and the moment that you feel it hit your stomach, your mind just instantly just starts picking up pace. Not in a way that's uncomfortable or overwhelming, but in a way that's like, oh shit, my thoughts are actually like, all cylinders are finally starting to run here, unlike before.
Finally, sentience.
Sentience, brain power.
The
More than-
Neutron brain blast.
Instead of one brain cell, you now have two. Look at that!
Double the processing power.
Actually,
Where'd you get the second brain cell?
Watching my intelligence modifier went up by 2, so I got 3 brain cells
Oh
now.
my god!
Oh,
Bloody hell! So this is how the redwood feels.
Here, you just like
I gotta start working.
you just see
It takes
Baru.
7 to learn magic.
You just see Baroon's eyes widen as he looks, like, he seems to be looking at something you can't see, and he's like, I did not expect your mind space to also get bigger. That's impressive. That I did not,
Hey,
I wasn't
It
sure
got
that would
bigger
actually...
where it counts.
Shut the fuck up. I can't DM like this!
Sorry.
I wonder what's the difference between Redwood and Thevin's intelligence score.
What's your intelligence now, Redwood?
14.
Mine's now a 16.
Congratulations.
So
Defeated Casey sounding.
Wait. What's yours, Casey? 14?
Yeah.
Mine's a 15.
So
I
you
don't
all
know
should be able to understand my rants.
yes.
It's
Well,
just
There's
but-
a difference between your actual stats and how you play it.
That
I've got
I also
18 wisdom.
I also think there's the fact that, like, no one here is proficient in Arcana except for you
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not proficient in Arcana.
But you've just been rolling really fucking well then, and everyone else has been rolling like
Yes.
shit. Okay, good to know.
Every time.
Yeah. Now that he knows the potion works, he's gonna quickly note down the jobs. Like, okay, what was the exact stuff he needed to make it? All right, cool. And then he closes whatever counts as a notebook. That's just a bunch of flimsy pieces of paper tied together. It's like, right now, time for phase 2.
Let's. I don't like that look. What are you planning?
I need my bones. I need my chisel. Not the person chisel, an actual chisel.
I was about. Are you going to try and make more magic items?
Aye.
Oh no. You know what? I'm not. Unlike that potion I made, I'm not going to be held responsible for this. I will see you later. And he just disappears.
Finally, I can work in
But
peace.
how does he disappear?
He literally, it's like you blink and he's gone.
I kind of imagine that one meme, the guy with the peace sign up, and it just slowly fades away.
So you get to work. Normal rolling. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. I am going to go ahead and pull out the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Stop.
I can't stop him. If he wants to fuck around and find out, he can fuck around and find out.
Yeah, that is till he burns his face, the other half of his face off
All
with a
right,
nat 1.
with a 7. The last thing that you had made was the
Beats of force, I think.
It was the Beads of Force. I'm just double checking something here real quick. Up, 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 up. Okay. So, as I always do, I roll a d20 here really quickly. I need someone to add these numbers for me. So someone pull out
Gotcha.
a calculator. 17, 6, 18. So that's 3 rolls. 17, 3, 8, and 14. I will need that number.
83.
Okay.
At least that's what I got.
Okay. Here we go.
Yep, 83. I figured I'd do it by hand for fun.
This is gonna take me a second.
Taking longer to do this than it took me to do a simple addition on a sticky note.
Well, you don't know what else is going on back there.
Back where in my mind, absolutely nothing.
That's why he has so much computing space for math.
Alrighty. Are you having fun over there?
Always.
Hey. Do, do, do. 7.
Yeah.
You.
Crazy.
I swear to God.
I had to finish.
You begin carving away at some bones and putting straps of leather together, carving and stamping runes into it. And you make a very odd looking contraption. It's these sort of rings that you've managed to make a sort of way for them to lock in place around what you could only assume to be a person's like wrists, with several cords of leather that you had personally hand and things like that, and put special sigils into, thick enough that the sigils could be put into it and stuff, tied into various loops to create this sort of like connection between the two of them. A vast array of magical and arcane runes carved around the entirety of the outer ring and on the inner ring of both of these like bracelets is the best way that you can describe them. You know the drill. You want to know what it is? Go ahead and roll that on Chrono check.
Yee, with advantage. Nat 20.
It's
So-
no longer cursed.
You have created, for the first time ever, dimensional shackles.
Oh.
They are a wondrous item. They are rare. You can use an action to place these shackles on an incapacitated creature. The shackles adjust to the fit of a creature of small to large size. In addition to serving as a mundane set of manacles, the shackles prevent a creature bound by them from using any method of extra-dimensional movement, including teleportation or travel to a different plane of existence. They don't prevent the creature from passing through interdimensional portals, however.
Mm-hmm.
You and any creature you designate when you use the shackles can use an action to remove them. Once every 30 days, the bound creature can make a DC 30 strength check. On a success, the creature breaks free and destroys the shackles.
Looking at these shackles, Sam's like, I know I'm gonna kill everything I've come across, but hey, I guess it could be useful. Stores
Hey,
them
good
away.
keep Redwood prisoner.
No, I was thinking if Thevin gets out of control during his transformation, just slap those on him.
Doesn't allow the change of the creature.
Yeah, it doesn't change
No,
the...
but it no,
Binds him to the
but
plane.
he cannot attack because they would be together.
So, again, they still work as, like, regular shackles, but now they have an additional bonus of if you were to shackle, say, a fae or something else, they wouldn't be able to transport through magical means unless directed through a portal.
Which
Does
we don't
Thevin
see a
count
lot.
as
So that has
fae?
basically bedazzled handcuffs.
Thevin does not count as fae. Barun counts as fae. Unfortunately, Barun is not the one in control of Thevin. If he was, then he would be considered fae. But
Oh,
yeah, no trying to weasel Thevin into being stuck here and out of that one.
Alright then, what's next?
Okay, how many magic items do you intend on making here?
As many as you let me.
I will let you make 2 more max. After that,
Alright.
I'm cutting you off.
Because it's purely just free time, what Thevin's doing in his free time.
Okay.
It's 20.
he has all the luck apparently.
Now, here's how we're gonna do
Stop.
this.
I can make
Why don't you
something
take
very
where he's at
useful.
with the dimensional shackles, and then you move in a number based on the roll.
I'm going to.
So when we stop getting things in the beginning of the alphabet.
Considering that 20, I feel like it should be a pretty big one.
Okay. So,
No, you get a bag of holding, and that's it.
That's fine. That'd
so
be good.
here is the problem of... Hang on.
Doing what Casey suggested?
No, here we go. Figured it out. I'm going to need you to quickly roll me a... Let me see how many there is.
Case, you're just glowing.
I'm going to need you to roll me a d8.
Okay. That's a 1.
I just closed Roll20 on accident. Give me one second.
Oof.
How dare!
I did not mean to do that.
Technical difficulties. Stand by.
It wasn't even technical. I was like, I'm just going to close this tab because I don't need it because I do the pop-ups for the rolls and the music, and I'm just stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Fix that. And grab this. Okay. You rolled a 1. Gotcha. So you take a thicker bone, like a larger bone, something that has like a little bit more heft to it, and start carving away into it. You create... I'm gonna have to cap you after these 2 items, by the way. Like, you won't be able to make any more after this.
What if he can't make any more until he accidentally breaks the items that he has?
Yeah,
I imagine it'd be at least until I get more supplies.
It's gonna be a.
Because that's the more
it-
logical thing.
I think it's gonna be one of those things where I can't keep giving you these because you keep getting really stupidly good ones. And I cannot let you break my campaign. You get a figurine of wondrous power.
Hmm.
It is a statuette of a beast small enough to fit into a pocket. If you use an action to speak the command word and throw the figurine to a point on the ground within 60 feet of you, the figurine becomes a living creature.
And what shape is it?
Griffin. Obviously, it's not bronze. You've made it of bone, but
Yeah.
this-
Isn't it that like one of the strongest ones we can get out of the
no,
figurines?
the strongest one that you can get is either an obsidian steed, a serpentine owl, or a silver raven.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah.
Can I have a mount?
Oh, let's see if I can. What I roll.
It can become a griffin for up to 6 hours. Once it's been used, it cannot be used again until 5 days have passed.
Mm-hmm.
The creature is friendly to you and your companions. It understands your languages and obeys your spoken commands. If you issue no commands, the creature defends itself but takes no other actions. At the end of the duration, the creature reverts to its figurine point. It reverts to a figurine early if it drops to 0, or if you use an action to speak the command word again while touching it. Obviously, it can't be used again. So yeah, basically you managed to make a statuette of a griffin that can become an actual griffin.
Yee. And then for my third and final trick, that's a 5.
AC, I saw your message. Why are you bobbing your head at me like that? And then, so the other one was...
Free RGB with lack of brain cells.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's a Ring of the Wish spell.
Probably not.
I know, most
I'm
likely
a
not.
bomb!
It's a potion!
Oh, I'm a potion.
I'm a potion!
Okay,
I'm a quad.
Jared,
Yes.
stop making magic items.
I said this is the last one. You said this is the last one.
This is the last one. But with this last one, I may need to cap you completely.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Horn of Valhalla. You take
What
this.
does that do?
You take.
Hold on.
You take this goat horn and you begin to basically just carve it out. It is a wondrous item. It is rare. You can use an action to blow this horn. In response, warrior spirits from the plane of Yizgard appear within 60 feet of you. These spirits use the Berserker statistics from the Monster Manual. They return to Yizgard after 1 hour or when they drop to 0 HP. Once you use the horn, it can't be used again until 7 days have passed. 4 types of horns exist, blah 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 blah.
Which one did he get?
I basically just made it like the base rare one.
We'll go with silver.
Because it's silver. If you blow the horn without meeting the requirement, luckily there isn't any. Blah blah blah. So,
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Jared. I know
Yes.
that look on your face. Are you going
Yeah.
to try using either of these 2 new magic items that you just made?
Not at the current moment. No. Devin, especially with now with his big brain, he's like, saving this. Save it. Oh yeah, this is good. He hooks it onto this hip. So now he just has, the horn hit on his hip. And he has the figurine in his satchel with the shackles. Right. Now what does another big brainy person do to use the big brain?
Hide the magic items from Devin.
I think in that moment, I do think you're just like, okay. I've made some really strong stuff. The others are not going to be happy about it.
They don't need to know. They don't need to know now. Now then. Oh, I'll do what Redwood does. The research. I'm sure he'd appreciate some notes on the arcane.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and research. We're going to then move on to Chisel.
Hello.
You are being woken up by a fox doing like the push thing like a dog would, just like on your chest, like, wake up! Wake up!
Hi.
Your mom made
Ugh.
your mom made breakfast. Wake up!
All right, we're here. Okay, let's go.
You get up. You walk with Shrub. There's only a few family members who are up right now.
Oh God, I'm not used to being up this early, am I?
No, you're not. But Shrub
Ugh.
wanted breakfast to be warm, so she got you up. You walk with Shrub into the hall, and you actually see that Bulbit, along with a couple of other members of his family, are also there. There is a young halfling, not halfling, a young gnome, who is about your height, light, dirty blonde hair, bit more paler skin, not as like rough and rugged as like say your uncle or someone who regularly works on carving out stone from the mountain or anything like that.
How would I know that?
Huh?
How would I know that?
He can't see yet. He hasn't put on his glasses.
That's right, you have not put on your ability to see yet. Okay,
I can't see without my glasses.
I retract my previous statement. You
He
don't.
sounds like he does.
You hear Bulbit speaking to two other individuals within the room with him. Shrub just kind of. You don't see it, but she looks up to you as she speaks, trying to whisper, and goes, "Hey, that family head guy is here."
Hey, he's hot.
Chisel is actually just going to lift Shrub onto his shoulders,
Okay.
like wrapped around his neck,
Right.
and whispers, "I know, I can hear him."
He's not exactly very quiet, is he?
No, he's not. Now, which seat is open?
You want one that's close to him or no?
Halfway.
Okay. And she just kind of like directs you to a seat when you sit. There's like plenty of space. It's not like the entire family is here at this moment. But you sit down and you see you hear a pause in the conversation Bulbit is having with the other two and goes, "Chisel, good morning.
Good morning.
I see you slept well after yesterday's incident."
Well, as well as I could, sleeping on a desk. Anyways.
There's like a moment's pause as he takes in the fact that you mentioned sleeping on a desk. He then you hear like a whisper of a much more feminine voice, and he goes, "Would you like to join me and my niece and nephew for some breakfast? Would you like to come and sit with us? There's no need to act like strangers."
Why not? And Chisel just gets up and sits a little closer. Because technically they are strangers.
Right. Um, you sit closer to them. Not super close, like there's like a seat between you and the
Person.
the person who is on your right. The rest of the seats kind of like a few seats empty to your left. Bulbit gives like a pleased hum as you move closer, understanding that you're still a little bit, you know, having a little bit of trepidation at the idea of getting any closer to him. And these two people that you've never met before. Shrub just kind of sits next to you, on the floor, like kind of has like her head on your lap, and goes, and Bulbit goes, I have been wanting to introduce you to my niece and nephew. This is my daughter Camilla, and this is, or not my daughter, my niece Camilla. And
It was about to go to Alabama real quick.
it was about to be that real fast. And this is my nephew, Onyx. You hear a feminine voice go, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Chisel." And you hear basically just like a grunt of response to your right. Very non-committal, but clearly still listening. And you hear Camilla go, the voice that you can assume is Camilla, go, we heard that you've been going on some incredibly grand adventures recently. Is that true?
Well, I wouldn't call them grand, but yes, I have been almost all over the isle, the continent. The only place I haven't gone to was, I think it's, what was the name of that place? I haven't been to the Great Forest yet. I haven't been to that way yet, but I've been all the way south.
Oh, really? You've been to the swamps.
Yes.
Your journeys within the past 5 years must have taken you very far.
Oh, well, we've, I've only been to the swamps, in the past few weeks, 3 at most.
You were there right before winter hit.
Yes.
That's
And right before winter, we caught in a blizzard, and we fought trolls. 2,
You-
actually.
You hear the Onyx next to you grunt and go, and like this really deep and gravelly voice go, "You fought 2 trolls from the mountains.
Yes.
What were they doing down there? Do you know?"
Could be migrating, could be hiding from something. I don't know. They're dead, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. So you held your own well then.
It was a difficult time. But yes. Honestly, if it wasn't for this little one that's currently begging for some food, then we may have died.
Bulbit just kind of hums and goes, "Really? That's your friend's familiar, I guess?"
Yes.
What was her name again? Rub?
Rob. And Chisel's going to softly search for like bacon or something before sneaking it to Shrub.
Rub, like, you don't even really get that close to, like, leaning down to the table before you just feel a mouth
Ow.
just, like, like a mouth meets your fingers like directly and then just slowly sinks away back under the table. It's like a really gentle just grab and pull. And there's like a soft bit of laughter from Bulbit and Camilla. Um Roll me an insight check if you would be so kind.
Oh, I have a +5, +3 for insight. 14.
It is very clear to you that Bulbit is trying to introduce you to the most basically like open and slash like worthy candidates for your hand in marriage in this moment. It's very clear like these are the ones that I would like you to choose from. I know there aren't many, but these are your best ones. And Camilla seems like genuinely interested in what you have to say and things like that. It's very clear that she is simply very easily fascinated by the idea of like going out from the mountains and exploring the world outside and beyond like the stone walls that she's spent so much of her life in. Meanwhile, Onyx is a little bit more like, I am interested in strength and strength alone. If you can hold yourself well in a fight, that's what I want. I don't want someone who is just going to, not be able to take care of themselves if I have to do something else. Self-reliance is important. And it's very clear that these two like different vibes, and that there's just Bulbit sitting at the head of the table here, just like you can't see it, but he's kind of like smiling, slightly smirking to himself, like these are your best options, and if these are the two that you gotta choose from.
I'm actually going to play along. Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Bulbit actually has figured out that I've noticed what's happening, but I'm just gonna play along because I like talking to basically what is now family.
Okay. Uh, is this genuine, or are you more like playing it up a little bit?
A little bit of A and B. It is very much genuine, but he's also playing it up just enough so people know he knows.
Uh, Roll me a performance check then, if you'd be so kind.
19.
Wow, okay. So you
Oh shit, I forgot. We're at level 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Oh, I don't have. It is actually higher
Okay.
because I have proficiency in uh performance.
So what would that add to the number?
+3, so 22.
That's fine. Uh, so you like instantly you like look like you clock Bulbit and you look in his general direction because you don't you can't see him, but you turn your head in his general direction, and there's like a look of understanding that flashes across your face for a moment, and you don't see this, but he's just like, oh, I see. So two can play at this game.
I may be blind, but I'm very perceptive.
You're very perceptive for someone who's blind. And you like basically start like playing it up a little bit. You start telling like tales of your adventures from the past few weeks. You kind of explain like what it was like for you to uh travel alone while blind, which and like both of these things very much catch both Onyx and Camilla's attention equally, because for Onyx it's like, oh, you're blind, but you don't need like special treatment despite what, everyone else around you is trying to give you. And for Camilla, it's like, holy shit, this person experienced so much that I wish I could experience. And that makes you interesting for both of them. And they're quickly caught in your attention. Roll me. Roll me just a base charisma check, if you'd be so kind.
a Riz check if you'd prefer.
Modified
A
20.
20 Riz check.
Oh my god.
Hot
He's the
damn.
Rizzler.
He is the Rizzler. You Shrub just kind of like is sitting at the
Who
table.
is this man?
I'm just like bribing her with bacon and stuff. Just keep quiet. Keep quiet. I
Shrub
don't
is
want to start laughing. Just
Shrub is taking Shrub is taking the bacon, but you can like see it in her little fox face. Like this fox is like the most expressive animal you've ever met. And so there's like a lot of looks of like, "Oh, really now?" And I feel like that's like overselling it just a little bit, and you've got to be kidding me. Like there is just so many emotions flashing in her face that you're just like, it is very clear that you are doing a very good job here of essentially rizzing up these two other these two other gnomes in your vicinity. um but you have their attention and you've got them interested. So
well.
the bachelor is on.
Now they
Uh,
must fight amongst each other.
The last one standing will be the
Please,
bride.
me, little one. Please, me, servants.
for my entertainment. Just becomes Gladiator the movie.
Are you not
Are
entertained?
you entertained? Um, what's that? There's an animation of Cult of the Lamb where he's like, "So fight pits," and it's like this bunny girl, like a flower in her hair. She just like turns and instantly like KOs the guy standing next to her.
I've wanted to do that for
For
so
so
long.
long. But you're having a conversation, and it's very funny to you as you're trying so hard not to laugh at Shrub's reactions. And we're gonna move on
Because honestly, it's all true. I've done everything I've said. It's just they're slightly, like, not even too much, just slightly exaggerated.
a little bit more, making yourself seem a little cooler than you may have actually been in the fights and stuff like that.
Not mentioning the leash.
No.
You don't mention the leash. You do not mention being Beybladed, but other than that,
Or almost drowning.
we're almost drowning.
I probably won't mention that at all.
Yeah.
But oh my god, the spotlight on the time you got shot and you stood up.
You put a bunch of blemishing on that. I do think that you would mention that you were personally like plucked out of the water by like some sort of divine figure. Like, I was chosen by this divine powerful being who lifted me from my potential demise.
I don't know who they were, but I have been saved and chosen.
Doesn't mention Redwood was Jesus walking.
Honestly, he couldn't see that.
That's true, he didn't see it at the time. We're going to move on from that happening to Redwood. You wake up slightly stiff.
Screaming.
Oh.
I mean, who doesn't?
I don't.
He just passed out from carving his arm. I think he wakes up and that whole thing lights up again.
You wake up and you're just like, oh my god! Oh,
That wasn't a dream.
that wasn't a dream! But it's not
My fucking arm!
it's not a pain that you would it's not pain from carving into your arm. It's more of a phantom pain. Because when you look, instead of the arm being there, it is the stone band that was there when the arm was connected between your flesh and the magma. So it's
I currently have no right arm.
you currently have no right arm. It does not affect your spells or anything like that. You still have availability to do those.
It's just not connected.
It's
Redwood
just-
does not know this. I'm gonna have to do that again.
You
The poor boy.
You sit up in this
No.
you sit up in this bed that's too small for you, and you look and you see a cat sitting on the workbench that Chisel had been sitting at previously, just kind of working away for the night. It is a cat with brilliant red fur that kind of lightens to a slight, like, soft strawberry color on the underside. And it opens its eye lazily, and it's like this fiery orange as it looks at you. You hear, watch as it stands and stretches, cat, like that typical, like, spine
Big
bend,
stretch.
big stretch,
Yeah, big stretches.
claws extending before sitting and looking at you. Something seems very familiar about this cat.
Good morning, Ithis. Is this your form now?
For the time being,
It's much less intimidating.
do you
Prefer it.
you do prefer it? Okay. I shall take it more
So
then.
why the strawberries?
You, unlike before, Ithis was in your mind, but you hear her body land on the ground as she approaches you from where you sit on the bed. She's physically here.
Wait. We're not dreaming right now?
No, you are very much awake.
Well, then what are you doing here?
I am here because I wanted to make sure my champion didn't sustain any more unnecessary injuries. Also, to explain,
I seem to have lost my arm again.
well, no, you didn't. You still have it.
I am your arm.
She
Ithis,
goes,
I know you are all-knowing, but I can see the fact that my arm ends at the shoulder.
I'm going to need you to trust me. And goes, I will allow you, Casey, basically for this moment of roleplay, this will not end, like, use your,
Activate it, but not use it.
activate it but not use it. As if this just kind of, like, lazily taps your leg with a paw and instantly, like, makes the magma, like, seems to, like, swirl from a pit within, like, the band of the arm. The stones floating into place as the arm forms once again. As feeling like before. The carvings actually don't hurt, but the phantom pain that was there goes away.
And I can't have this active all the time. Why?
It would put a strain on your body if you did. You can still cast your...
How did Shrub know?
That is actually why I wanted to talk. And she jumps up onto the bed and sits beside you and goes,
We never explained this. I'm to be your champion, you my patron. What is Shrub?
Rob, I didn't lie to you all those years ago when I explained that Shrub is an extension of you. That is true. But she's a bit more than that. She is, by extension, a part of me. Which means that, well, yes, she can act a little bit more rambunctious than I ever would. She has knowledge that she can, from the looks of it, unknowingly tap into to aid you. It was very clear that she didn't entirely know as to why she was doing what she was doing and why she felt that she knew it would work. But
Does this endanger her?
Does not. I know how much you care about her.
Then I will work with it.
You watch as Ithis yawns and kind of like curls up, does that like cat sort of like lounging head up position. And goes, I am also aware that you are currently trying to find a strategy as to properly deal with your dragon companion from your past.
Yes, shrinking my list of friends is not something I wish to do when it's maybe 5 people long.
She nods in understanding. And looks to you, and she just kind of seems to like do that cat thing of just staring off into nothing for a second as she thinks and goes, I cannot give you a definite sort of answer, for I don't know how far gone he is. Those years ago when we made a deal with the dragons to have them cooperate and help us to build the world as you know it, we gave them freedoms. Well, certain ones freedoms. And the green dragon that you had met was one who had full freedom. I can guess that you know who the other one who didn't get full freedom was.
I am aware.
Depending on how corrupted he is, that will determine the drasticity of the method that you will need to use in order to help him. My only thing is you need to pray that it has not reached his heart.
And what should I prepare for, well, before the heart? What's the final thing I should prepare for that final line before it is too late? I would much rather be over-prepared than under.
The Blight, as you have seen, transforms people in ways that are unnatural and terrifying, and it makes them stronger, but mindless, monstrous. The chief that you encountered at Emuum is a prime example of this. Your companion Chisel, before he understood the whole extent of his... not Chisel. Your companion Evan, before he understood the full extent of where his abilities came from another. There's a very good chance that his physical form has been altered due to the corruption of the Blight. He may have become bigger, stronger, and his abilities may have also changed as a result. A way to keep the host alive as the parasite feeds, as it were. There's a very good chance that you will need to burn deeply in order to get to the root of where it's spreading from.
So long as he's alive to forgive me.
I think he will. You are a very lucky person, Redwood. You have not, and hopefully will not, encounter infection from the Blight. I have been observing Umaria for ever since the Blight came about, waiting for you and your companions. And I have seen how painful these transformations can be and how much of a toll it takes. I cannot imagine, with how long he's been corrupted, how much pain he may be in.
You say I will not be afflicted by the curse.
I said you have not, and I pray that you will not.
All right.
I can do many
Must still be
things.
careful.
I can do many things for you. But protect you from the blight is apparently something that is completely out of my control.
Well, I lived thus far by being incredibly overly cautious. I do think it is time to be prepared. And pray it's not too late.
He kind of gives a bit of a purr at that. And just, she kind of looks at you and goes, when you have the time, I will be here for a while. I will be able to sort of explain how the blight infects from what I have studied and what I have gathered. If you are to depart soon, I think it's best that you know exactly what you may encounter with him.
What do you mean?
I, obviously, along with the other gods, have been keeping an eye on things from afar. Ever since we made Umaria, and after the first revision, we have made a point to try and keep contact with everything to a minimum, and I have stepped over that boundary multiple times already. However, this is information that is imperative and may improve your chances of success in the future.
What is it?
How well
There's some-
how well versed are you with medicine, Redwood?
I'm gonna double check if I actually have proficiency or if it's another fucking arcana thing. I have medicine proficiency. I have a +7 in it.
Oh goddamn! Okay.
Well, you are a druid,
Yeah.
I am a druid.
and
You
it
are.
is a wisdom, so you get a +4 even if you don't have proficiency.
I don't know. Yeah. So 4 plus 3 for proficiency. I am incredibly well versed.
Good. You'll need it. When you have the time, go and speak to your friends. Gather them back here. I will wait.
They are going to go. I don't know how they're going to react to this.
Me being here?
Okay. Yes. We've
Okay.
encountered a lot of things, but God is kind of newer. I won't say brand new, but definitely newer.
Well,
Lower G.
Frostbringer is technically a god. You do realize that, right?
Yes, that's why I'm saying not brand new.
But
Technically, we've only
even
met
do
two
say
gods.
technically.
that's fair enough. And she kind of jumps off of the bed once more and hops back up onto the workbench, doing the casual cat thing of knocking shit over in the process.
There's just a room just starts smoking.
I don't know how to explain to Chisel that a god knocked his stuff over.
If this ear just kind of twitches, she sits down and goes,
Don't worry about it. I'm going to go get my friends.
Just
All right, who do you try to find first?
probably Shrub.
I think the easiest person to find would be Chisel, because I can ask people about Chisel and people will know who Chisel is. If I ask about Thevin, they'll be like, I thought you were the elf guy.
All right. Uh, so you go. Wait, Chisel, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you quickly head to the dining hall because it's early. There's a good chance that Shrub smelled food and wanted it, and you last saw her with him. So you kind of put two and two together, and you find him interacting with two other gnomes with extreme charisma that you have never seen before. And Shrub
Might
is
I add, I can add to the charisma because my right arm is made of magma and stone, and I'm coming up to him as a companion.
yeah, so like you basically just kind of like increase their interest in him for a bit. Chisel, you
Yes.
will now have advantage on insight checks with Onyx and Camilla.
Chisel,
Bradford.
the god of fire is in your workshop. She wants to speak with us.
You
I'm sorry. Who?
you say that
Just
and the entire room just goes dead quiet.
She wants to speak with us. I'm going to go get Thevin. If you'd like to arrange your thoughts and meet us at your workshop. Also, the god of fire has knocked some of your stuff onto the floor.
Chisel just freezes before politely excusing him
Please
and
do
starts
not lose your
running.
shit on my patron.
You
Just starts running.
you start running back to your workshop, Shrub following close behind.
A very full stomach.
Yeah, she's a little.
Redway is going to look around the room. Has anyone seen the other elf?
There's like a younger gnome, probably like a kid, basically, and just peeks his head out and goes, "He's over there!" And he just points in like a very vague direction down this hallway.
Thank you.
You head down the hall. You find one of the rooms with the curtain closed tight, and it's safe to assume that that's where Thevin is because he enjoys his solitude from time to time.
Redway's going to knock his stone knuckles on the stone wall just to
No response.
Thevin.
Redwood, as
I
Thevin
made a thing.
opens up the curtain, his bandana is down, and he has this huge smile on his face that's only made even bigger because of his scarring.
It's a little
His
unsettling.
his eyes
It's
are
unsettling.
dilated, and he has an assortment of twigs and bones on his face, pretty much in the shape of glasses, but there's no glass there. And you see a large vein bulging from his head. I've been doing so much stuff, Riddle, you don't even know. Well, first off, I was thinking, you lost your arm, right? And you have your writing and your arcane writings on your arm, right? So I made you something. I made you this, and I hand him. It's pretty much a spell book, but made from animal pelts, and there is a charcoal pencil there too. So I was thinking, with all your arcane writing things, you could just write it down into this. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but it's gonna be big. I know it's gonna be huge. I mean, you could just store information in this. I mean, it's incredible. Think about all the possibilities of just being able to share knowledge through just reading of these things, these texts, and you can mass produce them and all that.
Jared, breathe.
Breathe, my guy.
Full deep breath.
You
Thevin.
In and out.
No one would understand what I would talk about.
see there like Barun in this moment appears in like a projection and he's like got his arms crossed, he's leaning against the wall, and he goes he's like clearly he's like extended his magic enough that he can like both of you can see him and hear him as he goes. He has been on like this for the past 4 hours.
Hey,
Have you
that's...
been eating the mushrooms out of the walls?
No, technically, yes, it was in the concoction, but I did not eat it straight.
He made something that made him smarter upon ingesting it. I don't know.
Did it?
He's been successful with everything
I
he's done so far, so
I mean, I'll prove it. I'll prove it. So he flips through the spellbook. Right, this one right here. This one, your easy druid thingy. You're can't cast out. Go do that one.
But it's not as connected to yourself. If you're casting spells using stuff on your body, it's all about the movement and the flow of the magic. If it's just in a spell book, you're basically just reciting it. It's not the same.
Barun goes, I don't know if you haven't noticed this by now, Redwood, but magic is what you make of it.
Hey, so maybe not the druid one, but what the arcane one? Like, that one spell that you do telepathy. Which throw? I know you use your hair.
One. The druid one just sort of happens when I need it to. The arcane one is this. By making it a part of my body, I make it a part of my mind.
Hey, but clearly you've been losing your arm. I mean, let's be honest. This is not the first time this has happened.
Yes, it is. I have 2 arms, and then I went to 1.
But the druid with trolls, you almost lost it then, and you couldn't even cast some of your spells. I'm thinking, like, hey, if something happens to your arm, then you could just, open the book and just do the magics.
Evan?
Eh?
I'm not going to trust the words of someone who is just eating stuff out of the walls.
I did not eat it out of the
I
wall.
have other matters that are slightly more important if you have time.
I have
Oh,
time.
time. Time is a figment of my imagination.
Truly, what is time, though, Redwood? I mean, time is just a
Evan?
passage of moment to moment.
If this is in the workshop,
Ethis?
the god of fire, she
Huh.
wants to speak with us.
I have
So could
questions.
you please stop talking about your collection of leathers and fucking move?
Devin shuts the curtain, instantly goes to the workshop. Like, oh, there are so many questions I want to ask her.
Devin,
Oh,
no.
Aren't you
no.
No. Devin, please stop.
Fine. Real quick. I'm
Later.
gonna roll a wisdom check. See if he will do something here.
Fail.
Well,
fail,
first,
fail.
before you roll this wisdom.
Oh.
What exactly are you trying to accomplish here?
So with the
Fighting
mutagen,
himself.
so with the mutagens, like I can purposefully end the effect right now if I choose to excrete it. So this wisdom check is literally just, am I going to excrete it?
Don't you have disadvantage on wisdom checks?
No.
While agitated.
So,
You didn't hear what you said. I saw your lips move.
are you going to expel this from your body? Are you going to start trying to...
I'll say, yeah. So it's like, before we go, I need to use the restroom. As Stephen French goes behind a rock. Just, you hear an audible just river being poured out.
You frying
I
chicken in
think
there?
it's worse if it's a schlorp.
It's not. Pissing all by yourself, handsome.
Hey, what the fuck? And with that, my intelligence goes back down to a 13.
Oh no.
Oh, I was holding a nod in all day. What?
That's
You
gotta
went
be
crazy
not
because you had to go to the... Evan,
What was I thinking?
just follow me,
Oh, okay.
please.
Just please.
I'm
I'm
ready.
done.
As we walk and talk, Dennis goes, Redwood, have you felt like you got dumber?
Every
Like,
time
I don't know how
Yes.
to. I don't know how to explain. It's like my world has
You
gotten
feel like all
smaller.
of your mental synapses have been shut down just being in the presence of a single person. Yes, I'm very well aware.
What the fuck are synapses?
Exactly.
Is this more of that fancy arcane speak y'all go about?
Barun just goes, I miss this.
Now, please,
Yeah,
the god.
Oh, yeah. Do you think she knows any good hunting spots?
God. Okay, you two make your way to the workshop now.
Just
And
on the floor, kneeling in front of a project that he's been working on for the past week.
it's not broken.
Broken.
It's not broken. She didn't knock any of your projects down. There's just tools on the floor.
Those were the projects. He was going to try to make them unbreakable.
I don't think. No.
Mm.
If this is just kind of like casually like grooming a paw and like doing like the cat like clean the side of the head thing, and she's sitting on the workbench here as Chisel has a breakdown over his tools.
Very-
My
Chisel?
organization.
Ithis, primordial goddess of fire and riddles.
That's a cat.
I am more than
Seven?
a cat, Seven.
Baru was a slug thing in your head.
Aye.
They don't all look the same.
Aye. So that means is Shrub a goddess?
No, Shrub is not a goddess.
No,
Well-
Shrub is currently fat and asleep.
Shrub
No.
is like also like you
Technically,
guys
part?
you guys look over and Shrub is like a little swollen and a little stuffed from eating so much bacon during that conversation she was having earlier. On her back, tongue hanging out of her mouth, legs in the air as she is just gone.
I somehow
Kevin, I
made
hate
a
to tell
fire.
you this, but she is technically part god.
As this fat fox snores in the corner of the room.
I somehow made
By God,
a fire
She
fox.
acts like it.
I somehow made a fire fat. I don't know how.
You feed it like a real fire.
Ithis clears her throat to gather everyone's attention and goes, "Would it be more suitable for all of you to speak to me in a form that isn't an animal?"
No, I'm just curious.
Sure, why not?
Which one is it? Redwood, you're the
Yes.
you're the tiebreaker here.
I don't care.
Chisel, how much of the stuff in this room is fireproof?
Most of it's stone.
Not a lot. Maybe just the bed covers. That's about it.
Fireproof? Everything's
All
stone.
Flammable, I think.
Flam. I was talking about flammable.
He took
Oh,
the
okay.
opposite. Redwood is going to take the bed sheets off of the bed and take them outside the door, put them down. Okay, we can deal with bigger.
Ithis leaps off, and kind of like that scene in Harry Potter where Professor McGonagall jumps from her desk as the cat form and morphs into like her other form. In the it was
Human?
human form. Thank you. Brain did a blank.
The other form.
But it's a little bit more different as that when she jumps, there's like a quick little spark of flame that leaves a small little char mark of two little cat paw prints on the workbench as flame kind of licks behind her a little bit as she lands gracefully on 2 feet, rolls her shoulders back. She is tall. Like, you guys are... The elves here are like 6 feet around. She is like 7.5. Tall woman.
Well, she looked
Big
hot.
lady.
She
As
is.
Chisel's not really looking at her. Well, she looked hot.
She
Devin,
is.
Chisel, you might want to turn on your eyes for this.
You activate your headband.
Sure.
You activate your headband. Tall woman, tan skin, lean build, loose fabrics, acting as sort of like a dress with a leather cord acting as like a midriff belt to accentuate her figure a little bit. A mohawk of flame that billows from her head flans out along, creating no smoke. Her eyes are still very much a piercing orange, and you see along her arms as sort of like tattoos or something of the such in gold. There are outlines of flames that kind of creep up her arms and up her neck. Very much. She's still kind of from her wolf form, Redwood, that you are more familiar with. You can kind of see why she takes that form a bit more often. Or why that's like kind of like why she leans into it, because in this, even in this form, she still seems a little wolf-like in her features. Very much powerful predator kind of feel to her. Very powerful, but not hostile, obviously. She's here to speak to her champion and his companions. She is not here to, smite anybody. So,
Cool.
Oh, she is hot. Okay, good to know.
quite,
That kind of does make sense for fire. Anyways.
Quite literally, by the way, because the moment that she transforms into this humanoid form of hers, the temperature in the room increases. It gets warmed. Like, you guys start sweating. And she kind of leans against the workbench and goes, "Better?"
Hey, fine.
I know that you don't have a problem with it, Seven, but I'm asking Chisel and Redwood specifically.
Whatever.
I
I was surprised at the cat.
I will actually need everyone to go ahead and make me wisdom saving throws.
What?
Yes.
Hey, 16.
20 and a 13. Seven and Redwood. You two look at this woman. All three of you look at her. She's beautiful. She's divine. She's a goddess. She's obviously going to look amazing. Doesn't matter if she is or she isn't your type. She's beautiful. And Chisel, you are instantly smitten with this woman.
Please, Grace. She will burn your fucking face.
I assume it's obvious.
Hello.
Especially after that.
It is very much a moment of like, holy fuck. Like that kind of warmth that comes with like realizing you have a crush on somebody and you're just like, I'm okay with this. I may or may not have taken this out of Worlds Beyond Numbers book for this because it's Indri's thing. It's just too much fun. But she is beautiful. She is powerful, and Chisel, you're not sure if it's the
Look,
heat.
Man, you have the best pickup line of, I may not have seen much in this world, but goddamn, you make it beautiful. See Jared cringing so hard.
Chisel's like Jared literally looks like he wants to die. Oh, and he's gone.
You can arrange that.
Chisel, it's very much, it's like you're not sure if it's just the room that's hot or if you're just like your face becomes like red. Like you are just I'm going to say that you probably will not retain most of the information from this meeting.
Hey, baby, is it hot in here or is it just you?
Shut the fuck up, please. If this doesn't necessarily clock that she's having this effect on you, it's not very often that she has interactions with mortals, obviously. And she goes,
just gonna silently just start scooting back a little.
Right then. So, what is it?
You were all requested by Frostbringer to go and attack a dragon within the mountains, yes?
Aye.
Yes.
This is in relation to such task. As you are aware, Redwood would like to avoid killing Olron if necessary.
Aye.
But, depending on how far gone the Blight has corrupted him, that may end up being something you may have to do. However, I am going
Aye.
to give you necessary information that will help make the job easier. As you are already aware, the Blight is not exactly a friend of fire. Which is why Redwood was chosen as my champion. Which is why he is has such an affinity for my domain. In order to counteract the Blight, I have learned, along with my fellow divine gods, that intense contact with elements such as running water and burning fire can provide a necessary pushback against the Blight. Fire being more effective than water. Think of it like cleaning or cauterizing a wound. In order to... Brian can't. Motherfucker's just nodding over here. It heals the wound, disinfects it, and closes it if it's fire. And if it's water, it obviously cleans it out. Essentially, if you want to do this job, and you want to do it well in a way that is less painful, still probably just as dangerous, you will need a lot of fire.
Right. Too bad we don't have that one wand I made.
Yes, too bad that thing exploded.
This
We
just
could have really used it.
If this just kind of looks at you, Redwood, and she's just like, Seven, roll me an insight check, please.
Actually,
Alright.
I don't get to do anything. I don't know what's happening.
Dude, you're not really paying attention.
That's not one.
You
Sounds oblivious.
Seven, you don't.
You're mourning the loss of the wand.
You're mourning the loss of your first magic item from the beginning of this adventure. Meanwhile, Ithis and Redwood are having like a non-verbal conversation that's like so obvious to anybody else about it. Just like,
Too bad that thing blew up on its first time
I-
using it.
yes,
I wonder if I can make another.
too bad indeed. Anyways,
I do think that it was such a unique item. I do not think you could recreate it if you tried.
I don't think you could
I-
either.
Maybe
I
not.
really don't. If this is just like, yeah,
Maybe-
I understand the concern here. I get it.
What if I make another intelligent through? That could probably help.
Oh,
Moving on.
Evan, that didn't work.
Anyhow, she waves her hand and magically creates a sort of like she waves her hand and like fire appears and creates this sort of charcoal like soot drawing along the wall behind her and goes, "Allow me to show you, as best I can, how the blight affects the body, because that will be imperative for what will happen next. Obviously, same premise despite the creature," and she waves her hand again, and the charcoal slash soot thing of a human ends up becoming a dragon, and she just goes, "Simple anatomy for every standard creature. You know where its brain is, you know where the heart is, lungs, etc. Especially if you are a hunter," as she looks to you, Seven.
Hey, that's a kill shot right there. That's a kill shot. There's one.
Are you
there's
stop
another one
thinking
right
about
here
kill
that most
shots of
people
my
don't know
friend?
First thing is first. The blight will cause a change in the thing's general anatomy. It will make it stronger, more susceptible to damage, less likely to fall victim to anything not blessed through magic. Second, should the blight make contact with the heart, that is kill or be killed territory. He cannot be freed from the blight should it happen. He cannot be returned to the state he was in before. Not only that, but
That is the only time you are allowed to kill shots, Tevin.
Hey, debatable. Anyway, continue.
No, not.
I mean, Redwood, I'm gonna be straight with you. If he's gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill him first.
No.
Ithis continues and goes, anyway, Brain will obviously have been impacted already by the blight. It will experience changes to its chemistry. I am saying things that you don't understand. That's a little too advanced for all of you. Basically,
I'm following.
not good. It will go into a mode of defend, kill, hunt, keep self alive. Think of it like a parasite, and a mixture of a parasite and an infection rolled into one. In order to keep its host alive, it will make the host go into constant attack mode by setting its pain receptors basically on fire. Every nerve ending within the creature's body will feel nothing but pain, making the creature incredibly aggressive. It cannot be reasoned with, it cannot be communicated with, it will only attack. So, any questions?
So, you said you can, like, fix it? How's the fixing, before it gets to the heart? So I assume that's where this is all going.
I got no questions, pretty lady.
What?
I got no
Devin
questions,
just
pretty
kneels
lady.
down, backhands chisel across the face. I don't think a goddess is a good bride's choice.
I had no questions.
You-
It's just
Right.
I hate to say it, but you'll have to do better than Ace. Because
This-
Chisel's basically gone down to 1 HP every single combat.
Devin
This-
takes out the failed mutagen. Hey, Bold, have a sip of this.
No, don't do that. No.
York.
Chisel, roll me a wisdom. Like, unfortunately, this is like with Ithis now just like a permanent effect. So-
Disadvantage.
Mate, oh, what are you doing? Are you slapping it out of his hand with the mage
Knocking
hand?
it away.
Okay, roll me a dexterity saving.
Tevin, do not feed him drugs.
That's a 26. So, okay, I assume with the 26, I am able to see it. Nope.
You,
Hey, gotta be quicker than that.
Chisel, roll me a wisdom save to see if you're gullible enough to drink it.
Any advantage, disadvantage?
Uh,
Probably disadvantage.
it does, no, there isn't anything here, it's just flat out.
Not 20. Just
You look at it, and it's like a slime in there, and you're just like, nah, I'm good.
Mm,
Hey, it was a shot. I was curious what happened anyway.
Ithis then goes, what was the... Oh. Typically I have found, from studying those who have died to it, The blight is typically injected into the host in some way, shape, or form from one mean or another. Find where it was injected, burn it at its epicenter, and that should be enough. I'm assuming it will not be an easy find on the body of an angry dragon, but it is something that you are going to have to do.
Right then, so we just find the spot and we burn it. That should be fine enough, especially if we set his whole body on fire.
Or we only burn where we need to.
I mean, well, he is
And
a
you just
fire
use your
dragon.
hunter's eyes to find a spot on a dragon.
Yeah, we can do that as well. But I mean, if he's a dragon, alright, I'm sure he doesn't feel fire all that much because we just need to fight the infection. Besides, even if we do find this one spot, I'm sure he's gonna feel something anyway.
7. I have learned that not all dragons are fire related.
Aye, of course, yeah, but also it's the dragon that trained you.
Yes. This is a
Is he
green
not a
dragon.
fire dragon?
No, this is a green dragon.
Ah.
He breathes
Hey,
acid.
pretty lady.
It kind of looks
How are
to you.
you?
Is this just kind of just like that thing of like, the creep's talking to me, ignore him?
Oh.
Obviously doesn't verbally say that. Um,
Can I make a perception check or an insight check?
I'm gonna say no. You're too far
Oh.
gone.
I was gonna see if Chisel actually noticed the look and just become very depressed.
No, you're too far gone. But basically, as this goes, I unfortunately, at this moment, have overstepped a lot of the rules that me and my brothers and sisters had set in place when interacting with mortals. This is the last time I will be able to do this in such a way and aid you to such an extent. After that, I hate to say it, but you three will be on your own.
Aye, we'll be fine, I'm sure.
Will I hear from you again?
You are my champion. You will hear from me, but I will not be able to aid you the same way I did with your arm.
Well, alright.
And it will not be as frequent anymore either.
I do... Wait, what do you mean?
Ithis has regularly conversed with you throughout this campaign so far in 20 episodes. She's basically
She's
being
gonna
like,
have to lay low, basically.
yeah, she's basically like,
For a little while.
I have to keep my distance for a bit.
Well, I don't plan on losing the other.
She nods and goes, "Good. I would hope not."
I didn't plan on losing the first one, but you know.
Ithis just kind of gives you like a like a look of just like, yeah, but still.
Yeah, but she did.
You did. She then just kind of looks to the three of you and goes, "This is it, and I'm sure you all will be beginning your journey soon enough. I wish you luck." And the charcoal
Thank you.
and soot kind of wipe away instantly with a wave of her hand. She snaps her fingers, her body quickly engulfing itself in flame, becoming a small ball of it before extinguishing completely.
Right then, so that was interesting. But there's just one last question.
What
Do
happened?
either of you know what these things on my face are as he gestures to the twig and bone fake glasses?
And
I
that
mean,
is that
I
is
remember making them. I don't remember what for.
and that is where we shall end the episode.
What happened?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this episode 20 of Chronicles of Umaria, Chapter 1, Shadow Falls. We will see you next week for In the Margins.
Oh yeah, it would be.
So come join us as we have a bit more of a casual stream, potentially playing some game or other, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.